Hello Internet, my gamertag is I'm Leet Mando, and this is another castle where I give you a girl's perspective into the gaming world. Yay! Here are some things you can expect to see on this show. Number 1, gaming news, but that's obvious. So number 2, my adventures through my gaming playlist. Number 3, how game devs can stop offending 47% of their audience. And here's a hint, I'm in that 47%. Also, I'm going to share with you my strategy guide for dating a gamer. So if your boyfriend or your girlfriend's always going, "Oh babe, you play too many games," and then you watch YouTube videos about games, you can just say, "Hey babe, look, there's a segment for you at the end of every video, every single week." So seriously, pop some popcorn, let go of that mouse, and let's get the show on the road. First off, we're going to jump into the world of the Oculus Rift. If you have not heard about what the Oculus Rift is, I don't know what you've been doing. Have you been living under a rock or something? Have you not been on the internet? The Oculus Rift is the next-gen virtual reality headset that's built for gaming. Sure, they've used it for other things, like NASA's used it to find out what it's like to walk on Mars, which is cool. I don't think we're ever going to see that. Are we ever going to see that, NASA? But otherwise, it's actually a really cool virtual reality thing for gamers. However, my opinion of this thing up to this point has been there is not enough Dramamine on this planet that will get me to try this thing. I swear to God, I get so sick on first-person games, any first-person game. Actually, the old Spyro on the first PlayStation, did you guys ever play that? I would get so sick from spinning around while I was flying, and I wouldn't care. I'd just keep playing to the point that I would just have to crawl into a dark corner and just cry until it stopped. It takes a super amazeballs FPS to get me to even want to play it, like Bioshock. I'll totally play Bioshock until I'm puking my guts out. That's not true. I don't puke my guts out. I don't do that. So obviously I have not wanted to try the Oculus Rift until I found out you could beat Gordon Freeman. Half-Life 2 is going to be on the Oculus Rift. And personally, I think that if you buy the Oculus Rift and Half-Life 2, you should get a free Ostrich Pillow, because those things are just screaming out for some cosplayer to turn them into a head crab. Have you seen those things? They are seriously a fabric-formed head crab. Who wears these things? There are other nausea-inducing games that are going to come with the Oculus Rift, like Bioshock and Bioshock Infinite, Elder Scrolls Oblivion and Skyrim, Assassin's Creed Dishonored, Batman Arkham City, Battlefield 3, Portal 1 and 2. The list goes on and on and on. Right now you can pre-order the development kit, but that's really just for developers. It's kind of a watered-down prototype for the consumer version. The development kits will ship September of this year, but there's no word yet as to when the consumer version will be available to us. So now that that's out of the way, let's hop into the world of MMOs. I have been a World of Warcraft player since the vanilla days, and I know that's like the hipster gamer thing to say, the vanilla days of World of Warcraft, but it's true. And I have loved the game since the very beginning, but here's the thing, it's getting a little old, and honestly, I would love a new MMO to call home, and I've tried out a couple, and they're all crap. They all go off of the same formula as World of Warcraft, EverQuest, Final Fantasy, Guild Wars, Lord of the Rings Online. It's all kind of the same game. There are a couple of hopeful options out there on the horizon, like Elder Scrolls Online. That game looks awesome, but that's only because I love the storyline of the Elder Scrolls world. WildStar also sounds really good on paper, but then you look at it and it's so super cartoony. It's a huge turnoff for me. I'm not into those games. But wait, there are 2 more options coming to the MMO world, EverQuest Next and EverQuest Landmark. But let's just start off with Next because it's the most promising. EverQuest Next actually is a reboot of the EverQuest lore. So this is basically a new Norath, and we're going to be able to create one that possibly no one has ever seen before. And here is the coolest thing about the world. It is, in theory, all destroyable. So, okay, you can't be a jerk and go into a city and just knock it to the ground. But if something is not player destroyable, it's monster destroyable. Grr, arg. Plus, the world of Norath will be forever changed by something they call rallying calls, which is a server-wide invite to a world quest. So basically, you create this tent city with all of the fighters, and you complete world quests together that change everything, including monster UIs. So let's say there's a rallying call, and you chase the goblins out of the area. The goblins UI decides whether or not they never want to come back ever again because they don't want to F with you, or they can go to the Goblin King and complain that you kicked them out, and he could uprise an army against you. How cool is that? These monsters are actually driven by their UI and not spawn points. Also, if you're tired of playing the same old classes, there is a multi-class system. You start off as one of 7 basic starter classes like Warrior or Rogue or Wizard. But as you go along in your questing, you will find opportunities to gain more classes. There are 40 plus in the world waiting for you. But if that's not that cool, you can actually create hybrid classes between any of the ones that you gain. Okay. This is the part where I go, hey EverQuest, this is a little too overpowered. Except I learned two things. One, you can never change your class unless you're out of combat. Number two, you actually only have 8 abilities available to you at all times. That's 4 from your class and 4 from your weapon. They did this in an effort to help players stop focusing on their hotbars and start focusing on the events that they're taking part in. Another thing that I'm really curious about with Next is that they've added this like parkour Assassin's Creed movement system. I'm interested to try that. And I know, a lot of these MMO concepts are not new, but it looks like EverQuest has actually taken a lot of the good ideas from people and then kicked it up a notch. It just seems like a really ambitious game, and EverQuest, if you can get me to come over from WoW, I will be a very happy gamer. Because Warcraft, I wish I could quit you. I just can't. Okay, everybody, we've finally made it to the segment that I call my strategy guide for dating a gamer. So go ahead and squeeze on over, let your significant other come closer to the screen, and hello there, let's get friendly. My number one tip for dating a gamer is this: let us play our games. I understand that can get really, really boring for you, but trust me, we appreciate that. So if you are bored watching us game, guess what? You don't have to just sit there. You can do a lot of things. You can read a book, you can pin some things on Pinterest, and we all know that website is addicting. You can play Candy Crush on Facebook, you can game with us, but hey, that tip I will continue next week. So remember to tune in and learn some more about your gamer counterpart. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in this week. Remember that if you did like this show, give us a thumbs up, comment about it in the section below. Talk about it on Facebook and Twitter, share it with your grandma, subscribe to the channel, we would really appreciate it. We have so many cool shows coming to you this week and a lot of cool shows on our horizon, so be sure to check back with us. And remember that if you have any questions for me at all, you can tweet me on Twitter and I may answer your questions on the next show. Thanks everyone, I will see you next week. Bye. So obviously I have not wanted to try the Oculus Rift. Oculus Rift. Why can't you say it? Ugh.